Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it so very much. Today is another edition of 444. As always, I will have a list of other 444s that I have done in the past. This is where I take 4 palettes, I wear them for 4 days each, kind of get a good feel for them, and then come back and talk to you about them, rank them, maybe declutter. Sometimes there is a declutter as well. So the 4 palettes today are the Natasha Denona Love Palette, the Melt Millennial Pinks palette, the Butter London, this is like a nature something, Natural Goddess, that's what it is. It's on the inside. Go figure. And the Anastasia Beverly Hills Jackie Aina palette. If you have not already subscribed, please do think about subscribing before you leave. So we're going to start with the Jackie Aina because it's the one in my hand. And it does have a mirror in it. This is a really beautiful packaging. It is not velvet like the other ones, but it does have this nice like kind of snakeskin texture, but it's very soft. And I just love how like incandescent it is. This is what the shades look like. So there are quite a few shades. There's a lot of darker shades. I don't watch Jackie Aina, so like I know these names probably mean things. I have too many videos to watch as it is. I want to watch some of hers, but I can't. I just can't subscribe to everybody. I think that's the problem with most people who watch YouTube. Is you kind of want to watch everybody, but you just can't. So that's what they look like. I'm going to swatch them and kind of tell you my thoughts on the palette in just a second. All right, so that is what all of the shades look like swatched. There are some beautiful colors in here. The shimmers are just gorgeous. This one was a little bit weird. It shows up really shiny on camera, but if you're looking at it in person, you can't really see it that much. So it's kind of a different type of shade. And like these colors right here are beautiful. The problem I had with this palette is a personal problem because I am so pale and I don't use a lot of dark eye colors. Like I try to have a mix of shades, and I had a hard time getting looks out of this just because of the shade range. Is it my favorite ABH? No. Do I think it's a good palette? Yes. I mean, her shimmers are always really nice. The mattes are pretty good. There's a variety of mattes that usually end up in these palettes. Some of them are better than others. But there's some beautiful colors in here. I do like this one. I will be keeping this one. But I think like Soft Glam is like my ultimate ABH palette. That's my favorite of all of them. And this one is just not as wearable for me, but that's because I kind of want a more wearable palette. All right, the next palette is from Butter London. This one did come in my box to charm. It is the Natural Goddess palette. You do have 6 shades in here, kind of a wide range of different type of shades. Some green, a blue, lots of browns. There's only 2 mattes and 4 shimmers. Let me swatch it really fast for you. So I forgot to mention this one does have a mirror as well, which is kind of nice. And the name is right here, which is interesting. Usually it's on the outside of the packaging. But this is what the 6 shades look like. So you're gonna see a couple of them look a little bit more patchy. Those 2 mattes, they kind of start well and then fade out. I honestly was not a fan of this palette for a couple reasons. One, just because of the mix, like I needed not just like a dark brown, I needed something else to make an eye look, because otherwise you're just doing like shimmer on shimmer on shimmer, which is a lot, and then you look kind of, I felt like I looked washed out when I was wearing this. The green was really pretty nice. So was the blue, like they looked nice on, but I just didn't feel like this was a cohesive palette. I wasn't thrilled with any of the shadows. I think they were decent. They weren't like outstanding, not as good as ABH, honestly. So this one I am going to pass along just because I don't see myself reaching for this or using this, and hopefully someone else who does a more natural look and has some other shades, they could mix this with it. So yeah, that one's going away. Which brings us to the next palette, which is the Millennial Pinks palette by Melt Cosmetics. And it does have like a textured top, which is interesting. And then on the back, there's all of that writing as well. Inside you do have a mirror as always, and then you have all of the shades. So the first part of the palette is all shades of pink, then you have like a shimmer white, a shimmer blue gray, and then a dark navy and a dark black. All right, so this is what all of the shades look like swatched. So some of them definitely show up better than others. The mattes have more of a presence than the shimmers. The shimmers I did all double swatch because the first swatch you couldn't see anything at all. Like this one is still really light. Now of all of the melt palettes that they've done, this is the one, the color story, that spoke the most to me. And that's why I wanted to get this one as opposed to like the Smoke Sessions or Smoke Show or whatever it was. That one just wasn't colors that I would probably wear. And I liked the Morte palette, I think, but that went so fast. And this one was actually on sale, so I was really excited to get it on sale. I don't know what to think. I've heard that this isn't the same quality as some of their other, but this doesn't make me really want to go try any of their other shadows for that reason. Now, do I like this palette? Yes. And I'm going to definitely keep it because like if I just stick to this side, I love all of these shades. Like these three, we could kind of take away and I'd be fine. This, as you can probably see, it looks more silver than blue. Like it looks more blue to me in the pan, but it's definitely more of a silvery tone. And these two, I just wish they had done like just left it all pinks, and then I would have been a lot happier with it. So this is an okay palette. I don't think it's something, I would definitely say don't pay full price for this. If you do end up wanting to pick it up, look for it on sale. I think it's a decent palette to have, but it's not the best palette that I've ever tried. The last palette I'm going to talk about is the Natasha Denona Love Palette. This was a palette that as soon as I saw it, I knew I wanted to get it, and it took me a little bit to get it. I didn't get it until like the August special at Sephora when they put it. They had like a deal, you spend so much, you got so much off. That's when I ended up picking it up, but it was one that I was really interested in because the color scheme just screams like the colors that I love. So let me swatch it really fast for you. All right, so that's what they all look like swatched. Some of them swatched a little patchy, the mattes, and I think that's for two reasons. One, they're not the like smoothest mattes to actually swatch. They perform, I feel, better on the eyes. And then two, I just wiped off, like I had lotion on earlier, so some of the earlier swatches glided on a little bit easier. My skin is like dried out right now, so that's why I think those skipped right there. But oh my gosh, this palette has a beautiful mix of tones. Like there's some light ones, so you can do highlight, you can do crease, you can do transition color. There's beautiful shimmers in here. This one I hadn't worn before, and I was like, dang, that one's gorgeous. It's kind of like the standout shade there that I've swatched. And I was really excited to like go play with that and put it on my eyes next. So that's what they look like. I think this one is well worth it. This is a more expensive palette. If you can wait and take advantage of either a Beautylish sale, or if Natasha Denona ever does like a site-wide sale, or Sephora, wait till they do their holiday sales. I would wait till then because I don't think $65 is really a great deal for a palette, even though it's smaller and like half of what she normally charges. I still think $65 is quite a bit for a palette. So final rankings and kind of giving an idea of what I thought of each palette in comparison to the others. In fourth place, obviously, is going to be the palette that I'm going to declutter. This is the Butter London Natural Goddess because it's not a great palette. You can't get, like, I feel like a full look or multiple looks out of this just because of the mix that they put in here. The formula was fine. Like, the formula wasn't bad or anything, but that's definitely fourth place. In third place, it's 2 and 3 were really hard for me to decide. Just going to put that out there. So you might switch them in your mind. I'm going to put the ABH Jackie Aina. Jackie's, ugh, too many names that are similar-ish. Well, first names that are similar. So I'm going to put this one in third place just because it's not the best for my color tone. So I felt like I struggled a little bit. I loved like this section right here, but that's going to be repeated in another palette, as we've already seen. So I'm going to put this in third. I think the formula is really good. This is the same quality as like the Modern Renaissance and the Soft Glam and all of those. It's really good quality. It's just not the best color scheme for me. In second place, I'm putting the Millennial Pinks, just because I do see myself wearing this one a little bit more, because these shades right here are definitely ones that I will wear. Like, we'll just cut those off. We won't put those on camera. Like, if that was just the palette, I would love this palette and I would have a lot more fun with it. They are not the best performing shadows though. Like, they take work to get on and to make them look good. So that's why I put it in second place, but that's why I said you could switch them, because my personal preference for colors versus personal preference for formula, that's a hard thing. And then obviously in first place is the Natasha Denona Love Palette. I love this palette. Like, this made me so happy, and every look that I wore, I was just like, oh, I just love the look. I feel so like just pretty, and I really loved, like, this is my color scheme, pinks and purples, and like it wasn't too out there, so you could do work looks with this, but you could also do something more bold. So this is my first place. This is a palette that I had to make myself stop using so that I could try other ones, but this is one that I'm definitely going to be playing with again really soon. I have one other 444 that I'm working on. That's what I'm wearing on my eyes. And then I'm going to kind of let those sit for a while and kind of revisit them later on, because I have several of them filmed that you haven't even seen yet. So I'm going to let that sit for a little bit, kind of get through, let my life settle down a little bit, and then I'll go back to it. But for right now, I just really want to play with palettes that I really love, like the Love palette, and then I want to get some of the holiday palettes. So hopefully I have been able to get some of those. Let me know if you've tried any of these palettes, what your thoughts are on them, or if there were ones that you had on your wish list. Let me know down below. I hope you are all having a fantastic day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.